Hey, good day, listeners. I'm Maxim De Silva, and you're listening to my first podcast. Nowadays, there are a lot of youngsters who are very passionate, and their love for photography is to an extreme where they want to probably get into photography as their profession, and just not only youngsters but old age people who have even discovered their love for photography. So, at this platform, I would answer questions with photographers who have doubt and need help in improving certain skills, and I would throw out a few tips from my experience as a young photographer. Well, on the list today, I have few questions from one of my close friends who is an upcoming photographer, and I'm happy that she takes really good initiative in learning and opening her perspective towards the world of photography. Well, the first question, what she brought out was in photography, which is the ideal lens one can use and why? Well, that's a very basic question an amateur would ask because they haven't explored much with the lenses. Secondly, as you go on in photography, you will slowly learn the importance of having different lenses at different occasions. But if you are seeking forward to be a full-time professional photographer, it's a must. You need to have all types of lenses because you're going to see much more, and these lenses help at different situations to make you feel satisfied with your clicks. Well, jumping to the question, we have four basic lenses. They're the wide angle lens, the telephoto lens, the macro lens, and the block lens. Well, the wide angle lens, they are basically a far zoomed out lens, and it can capture more of the scene than a human eye can actually focus. So you get a larger area in a frame. Whereas in a telephoto lens, okay, they are probably designed to get you as close to a far away subject as possible. For example, if you're on a visit to a zoo, you need to click photograph from far, so you can't, you need a telephoto lens here. A macro lens, macro lenses are specialized lenses that, they are amazing at close-up photography, and many of them produce a 1:1 image, okay, which means that your subject is reproduced on the camera sensor at a life size, which allows for a huge amount of details. Many photographs of flowers, insects, and other small objects are taken using macro lenses, which makes it look big and more appealing. A prime lens is the opposite of a zoom lens. It has a single focal length, and you can get prime lenses and any focal length from the ultra wide angle to a telephoto because they have a fewer moving parts. So prime lenses often produce high quality images and they come out extremely clear, which makes them look more popular for portraiture. Another big advantage is that they often have faster apertures, means that they can capture better images in low light, making them good for night and sports photography. Well, therefore, every lens, has its own use and benefits and drawbacks. If you are an instant photographer, for example, a photojournalist or an even event photographer or a wedding photographer, etc., they need to be quick and keep a watch to what's happening around them. So they need to capture memories or moments. Therefore, I would recommend using 18 to 135 lens or 18-200 because you can capture objects that are far and even close at the same time. With the second question, how does the lighting around the area enhance or distort the beauty of a particular scene you want to capture? Well, lighting is a key factor in creating a successful image. So, it determines not only brightness and darkness, but also the tone, the mood, and the atmosphere. Therefore, it is very important to control and manipulate light, in order to get the best texture, vibrancy, color, and even the luminosity on your subject. Therefore, you just can't mess around with lightings. When I was new into photography, I thought my camera would do the entire job if the triangular setting were adjusted accurately, but it really doesn't work that way. As an amateur, you need to, you may feel your pictures look perfect, but they aren't. If you understand lighting and you feel that you need something the way it is, just don't stop yourself. But if your lightings are perfect, It just changes an overview of an image. Well, next, the third question. What camera would you suggest for an amateur at photography? Does the brand really matter? See, no one really cares what camera you use unless you have a masterpiece. There are a number of cameras, and just because Canon or Nikon are the leading brand, it's not a must to buy them. What to do when buying a camera? Firstly, note down certain requirements that you need in a camera, like maybe a full frame or a crop frame, megapixels higher, ISO value, etc., etc. Secondly, go to the general camera showroom and check for all the cameras. And most important, make sure you are comfortable using it. Try different brands and pick the best that makes you feel satisfied. Next, fourth question. This is really an interesting question. What is HDR photography? Well, HDR is a form of photography. It stands for high dynamic range. Okay, so what happens over here is in an HDR image, it's actually commonly made by taking three photographs of the same scene, each at different shutter speeds. So the result is a bright, medium, and darker photo based on the amount of light that has got through your lens. Later in the post-production, the software processes and combines all the photographs to bring details to both the shadow and highlights. And this helped to achieve the same kind of task, the final photograph that human eyes can accomplish on the scene. Therefore, every element in the photograph, whether they are background or foreground, they are, detailed and clear with effective lighting. Well, that's all I have for today, and hopefully this session was quite effective enough. If you'll have any doubts or you need any help in terms of photography, you could just mail me at marshallmax13 at gmail.com. Thank you for listening, guys. Have a great day.